Hey guys, welcome back to Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I got some new releases here today. Got these recently. They're in my to-watch pile. I think everybody has a to-watch pile. So anyways, these are some new movies I've gotten in recently and I want to talk about them. First up, I got a movie that I had never heard of. Terror in a Texas Town, and this stars one of my most favorite noir character actor type person. Somebody that wasn't exactly a leading actor, but he was a leading actor, but he's not remembered as a quote unquote star of movies. To me anyways. Sterling Hayden. That's what I'm talking about, and you may have seen him in a lot of movies. This movie was written by Dalton Trumbo, who was blacklisted back in the 50s, who wrote Johnny Got Your Gun, or Johnny Got His Gun, Spartacus. He's written a lot of cool movies. And this is directed by Joseph H. Lewis, who made a cult movie, Gun Crazy. And he's made some other really cool movies. But I saw this and I'm like, Terror in a Texas Town, Sterling Hayden. It's on Arrow Academy Films. And what's cool about this is in a Western setting, and the guy hunts these killers down with a spear gun. Now this movie was made in, I want to say 1950, 55? Somewhere in there, mid 50s or something, but it's not a typical Western by any stretch of the means. So he hunts down people with a spear gun. I haven't watched it yet. I watched it yet. Just the story itself got me. Sterling Hayden, Joseph H. Lewis direction. Got to check this out. I'm sure I'm going to love this one. Next up is a newer movie, again with a very interesting premise and title. This recently came out, starring Sam Elliott, who's known as modern day cowboy. It's a movie called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. Now if that title doesn't get you thinking, curiosity. So basically this guy, it's a fact of, it's a made up story of he assassinates Hitler, stops World War II, he's sent on a special mission to kill Bigfoot. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but again, it's a title premise that's really interesting, so I had to get this one. So again, it's The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot, starring Sam Elliott. Next up, from Warner Archive Video, I have the Tim Holt Western Collection, Volume 1. Tim Holt was a actor in the 40s and 50s and on. He first came on the radar in a picture, was on the Magnificent Ambersons. He was in it, and he's probably best known for being in The Treasure of the Sierra Madre with Humphrey Bogart, Walter Houston, which is one of my favorite movies. So this is a whole series of westerns he made in the 40s, and apparently there's a whole set of volumes. I think there's 5 volumes in all of Tim Holt. So I was curious about that. They're B westerns and stuff, RKO. So I was curious about it, and without ever seeing any of these, it's kind of a blind buy based on Tim Holt and B westerns. I kind of like B westerns because I really like the Randolph Scott B westerns that were made. Now, it's hard to compare anything to those because those were phenomenal movies. So I'm gonna see what these are like. I watched the first one and I really like it. He wasn't so much starring in it. He was kind of second build in the first one, the Renegade Ranger. And it had a guy named George O'Brien was the lead guy in it. He's kind of his buddy, was Tim Holt. Had a young Rita Hayworth in it. So it's got a lot of, you know, seem to be stars in it and stuff. So I got it. There's 10 movies, 5 discs. Tim Holt Western Collection, Volume 1. Check it out. And finally, I got this 3-pack of Sherlock Holmes. I really like Sherlock Holmes, especially the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes that were done in the 40s, 30s and 40s. I think he made one of the best Sherlock Holmes. Robert Downey Jr. did a really good job as Sherlock Holmes recently, and I like those 2 movies that were made. I was hoping there would be another one in that series, but I guess not. So this one kind of covers different ones spread out through the years. First is the Hound of the Baskervilles, and this has Peter Cushing, who's better known in Star Wars as one of Darth Vader's henchmen. He plays Sherlock Holmes, and it's got Christopher Lee in it, and it was made in the 50s for the Hammer films, I believe. I know I've seen this one. This was one of my favorite ones before I saw all the other Sherlock Holmes. So it's kind of cool that it's on this trilogy set. And the second one is The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. This was directed by Billy Wilder, and it's kind of a different take on the character and who Sherlock Holmes was. So you may love it or hate it, but I have it on Laserdisc. I have an old Laserdisc copy of it, so I was going to see the difference in the DVD. And the main movie I was really looking for is this movie called Without a Clue. Now I remember this when I was younger. It's got Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley in it. And I remember this movie, and I wasn't really interested in it when I was younger, because I believe it's more of a comedic flair to it, but I really wanted to see how Michael Caine was in this movie, because I've kind of watched some Michael Caine movies here lately. I'm kind of on a kick. I've seen some Michael Caine movies and stuff. So this one was made, I believe it's in '88. So when that came out, I was 12. I didn't watch that. So it's a triple feature DVD set. You can find this a lot of places. Released through MGM UA, and 20th Century Fox DVD. Hard to get, or not hard to get, it's easy to find. So that about wraps it up. Go out there and get your movies. These were all movies that were kind of based on reputations or just a story that I really sounded curious, and I got it as a blind buy. Blind buy means you just buy something without knowing much about it, and you watch it and you're like, man, I love this movie, and I didn't know anything about it, and I just got it and I took a chance on it. So those were some movies I took a chance on, based on reputation. You know, Sterling Hayden, Tim Holt, Michael Caine, and Sam Elliott. They've all done really good stuff in the past. So based on their reputations, I did those. I bought those. So hopefully that'll turn out good, and I'll get some hours of enjoyment out of that, guys. So until next time, I'm Mike, and find a good movie tonight. Watch one. And through this COVID-19 business, coronavirus, stay safe. Perfect time to watch a movie. Dig into your movie collections and dig out some movies that you love. If you're stuck in the house, there's no reason not to. So, Mike, and I'm Mike, and I'm out.
Peace.